Welcome to Standard 1, Leadership and Management. Success starts with leadership, which is exactly why our first national standard for volunteering lays the foundation for influence, inspiration, and impact. All managing members and senior employees are leaders within your organization. As leaders, it's your responsibility to seize the opportunity, to set the tone, to propel your purpose, and to unite your team under one mission. A positive volunteer culture doesn't happen by accident. It's up to leadership to create and foster it. Beginning with cultivating strategic systems, communicated values, and clear processes that support volunteers to meet objectives, promote accountability, and understand both the risks and benefits of their roles. Organizations must strive to create and maintain a positive culture, especially around volunteering, that is embraced by the governing body and senior staff. This should be accompanied by effective management systems that are put in place to support and promote volunteer involvement. Through strong leadership, organizations can ensure that the values and goals of their volunteers are brought to life. You must begin with leadership and management before you can implement any of the other standards. Therefore, success with implementing the national standards for volunteering starts with you. Right here, right now. Volunteering Australia has designated 5 criteria within Standard 1, Leadership and Management.
These criteria are: firstly, 1. Any responsibilities for leading and managing volunteer involvement are defined and supported. 2. Policies and procedures applying to volunteers are communicated, understood, and implemented by all relevant staff across the organization. 3. The organization's risk management processes are applied to the organization's volunteer involvement. 4. Volunteer involvement records are maintained. And lastly, 5. Processes are in place to manage relationships with partner agencies in collaborative volunteer activities. Each criterion establishes the principles, values, and actions necessary for you, as the leaders and management of your organizations, to fully support and empower its efforts. To aid this process, each criterion has a list of evidence. This evidence works as a sort of checklist, enabling you to measure and audit how well your organization meets each criterion. We'll dive deep into each criterion and its evidence in our worksheet. But let's quickly summarize and introduce each checklist here. Criterion 1.1 does require a little defining, and it also requires supporting the responsibilities of volunteers. To do this, you'll need to assign specific leadership roles for volunteer management, so as to document the roles and responsibilities for each position, to ensure every member understands their responsibilities, and to determine the qualifications needed to fulfill these duties. Criterion 1.2 expresses the importance of communicating each and every policy and procedure to volunteers. To achieve this, you'll need to create a standard for training all volunteers on your policies and provide ongoing training and monitoring for compliance. Criterion 1.3 addresses the importance of utilizing risk management to support volunteers. Evidence of this includes implementing a risk management system, appointing leadership roles and responsibilities, and letting volunteers know of the risks involved in their positions. Criterion 1.4 requires a set of processes for maintaining volunteer records. This evidence checklist is centered around creating a system for collecting, documenting, securing, and maintaining information. Last, but certainly not least, Criterion 1.5 encourages developing a process for maintaining relationships with partner organizations. This is especially relevant for those larger organizations that are working in collaboration with outside agencies. Here, you'll need evidence of clear frameworks for partnerships, rules for volunteers from outside organizations, ways to measure partnership success, and systems to continually review contracts and agreements.
You'll be better able to guide and direct your efforts if you understand the importance and principle behind each criteria. Creating a plan around the evidence checklist will enable you to transform your goals into reality and to turn your plan into easy action steps. Every organization is unique. As a result of this, the national standards focus on actionable principles that can be adapted to each volunteer-involving organization, whether it be large or small. In the 10 steps to implementing the national standards provided by Volunteering Australia, Step 1 goes hand in hand with Standard 1 to identify the benefits and challenges of implementing the standards. Whoever in your organization is leading the implementation of the national standards should make themselves acquainted with both their benefits and challenges. Doing so streamlines the whole process. Give yourself credit for committing to improvement. You're setting your organization up for strategic success and making strides towards tangible progress you can truly see, feel, and measure. Understanding the benefits of implementing the standards will give you the motivation and determination to make it happen. Identifying the challenges and roadblocks ahead will enable you to keep going, even when the process becomes difficult. Knowing what stands in your way will help you to overcome any obstacles. We're here to make this process as straightforward and actionable as possible. We'll provide a task checklist for implementing Step 1 in the reading material for Module 1. This will include 4 sub-steps to jumpstart your progress and guide you through the implementation process with ease.
Let's lay the foundation for success together.
Go through your Standard 1 worksheet to identify the criteria and evidence task list for leadership and management, and begin to learn how to implement the first standard. Beginning with Step 1. Let's discover how it all begins with leadership.